Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our cozy little corner of the internet. Today I'll be reading chapter 11 of The Life We Could Have Lived, This Life Was Made For Us by Zena Lemon. Hope you guys enjoy and let's get right into the fic. Chapter 11, A Bittersweet Final Piece. What felt like an eternity happened in the course of just a few seconds as Dazai faltered out of the face he was obviously making. It's rude to stare, he teased before Chuya could say anything. Chuya noted that there was still that lingering in Dazai's eyes, not commenting on the fact that that's what Chuya just caught him doing. What happened to you? Chuya asked, ignoring the jab. Dazai blinked, caught off guard by the sudden question. What do you mean? You're different. Chuya didn't mean for it to in an interrogation way, more of an observation, coming out much softer than he would have preferred. Again, caught off guard, that had been happening a lot lately, Dazai's eyes widened before he looked down at the desk. How so? He sort of laughed, no sign in his eyes of finding of anything funny. Chuya waited for a moment, figuring out how to word it. I don't know, you're just... Chuya paused again. Different. More. Dazai hummed in response, keeping his eyes on the table. They sat in silence for a moment as Chuya started to think he said something wrong. I think no longer human took away more than just my vulnerability to other abilities, Dazai suddenly admitted, startling Chuya. Chuya watched the brunette, waiting for him to continue. Dazai shifted in his seat, obviously not used to being this open with the redhead. I think it also took away my actual emotions to an extent. This surprised Chuya. Not once had he thought Dazai was strange way of emotions, how he seemed to be masking his true intent, being an effect of his ability. He assumed it was just a tactic he used to manipulate people to whatever extent he needed. He never thought it was actually because Dazai couldn't express those emotions naturally. Chuya recalled seeing the rare times that he's caught Dazai's mask faltering. He remembered his expression. He looked empty. Chuya examined the man in front of him, even when letting down his walls and actually talking about his feelings for once. It wasn't an empty expression. He looked solemn, nervous even, but not that lifeless expression Chuya wished Dazai would never make again. Ever since this morning, I've actually been experiencing my emotions for the first time in my life. I don't know how to feel about it, Dazai concluded, staring holes into the table. For once, being the one who can't look the other in the eye. The two sat in silence again. I mean, has anything surprised you, or are you just a more exaggerated version of what you already felt? Or is it just an exaggerated version of what you already felt? Chuya broke the silence. Dazai quickly turned to the redhead, visibly shocked. What? Chuya chuckled at the sudden reaction, scrunching his eyebrows. I thought you were going to make fun of me. Dazai scratched the back of his neck sheepishly, making Chuya scoff. I wouldn't go that low. You practically just spilled your guts out in front of me, Chuya defended. Dazai smiled, a little embarrassed. Sorry I doubted you, Chibi. Hey, don't make me regret being nice to you. Dazai chuckled, but to answer your question, yes, some of them are stronger versions of what I barely felt before. Dazai paused and had that look again. There have been a few nice surprises though. The sight of Dazai was practically glowing whenever he looked at Chuya. The sight of Dazai practically glowing whenever he looked at Chuya would honestly have him rejoicing at the implications of the last comment, but the last comment shut Chuya's party down. The last of oh wow okay. The sight of Dazai practically glowing when he looked at Chuya would honestly have left him rejoicing, but the implications of the last comment shut Chuya's party down fast. Surprises. If that's the way Dazai looked at Chuya when he said, if the way Dazai looked at Chuya while saying that had any implications, it was obvious that, like Chuya, Dazai had discovered his feelings for the other just today, which meant he never felt them before. Who was to say that Dazai would keep those feelings when they returned? What if he completely regretted feeling them after and left Chuya completely? What if he found out that Chuya had those feelings as well and couldn't accept them? What if he made fun of him for it? Chuya knew it was stupid, and he was just in denial, yet he refused to accept that Dazai loved him, not genuinely. He had betrayed him once before. Who's to say he wouldn't go ahead and do it again because of these stupid feelings? He's always pushing people away, and realizing his own vulnerability is only going to widen that gap. God damn it, Dazai, you don't love me. I won't accept that. It felt good to get off his chest. Dazai wasn't normally one to preach his woes. Normally, he would bottle them up and pretend everything was fine. But if this world had given him a chance to be different, he was going to use it. It was a risk, and he took it. His ability to actually feel wasn't the only thing that he thanked the situation for. Being in an environment like this, seeing Chuya in a different light, was beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, Dazai hoped Chuya didn't notice how long he had been staring at him. It was unfair how Chuya didn't know what he was doing to him, how gorgeous he was. Even as a teenager, he looked amazing, and that natural beauty only grew as he matured. Dazai wasn't surprised when he didn't fall. Dazai was surprised when he didn't fall head over heels for him when he was back in the Mafia. Even now, the way the afternoon light from the window spilled into the classroom, highlighting Chuya's features, was stunning. Could you blame him for staring? Eventually, the school bell rang, signaling the start of class. Yasuno welcomed the students, going over the same routine every other class has all day. Dazai couldn't help but keep glancing at the redhead, who sadly didn't look at him anymore. What did I do? Chuya, Dazai whispered to his table partner, who seemed to tense out at the sound of his voice. Are you okay? Did I do something? No, you didn't. Just, can you leave me alone? Chuya sputtered out, still refusing to look at Dazai. Dazai could barely glimpse at the slight scowl on Chuya's face, accompanied by a slight tinge of red. Okay. Dazai got that feeling again. Guilt. He didn't even do anything, at least he thinks. Emotions are so convoluted. The two spent the rest of the class in silence, despite Dazai's confusion. The bell eventually rang, signaling the end of the school day, and dismissing everyone from their classes. Dazai shuffled to get his stuff, still unable to keep himself from glancing at the redhead. Chuya surprisingly got out of the classroom quite fast, as he was just rushing to get away from Dazai. I really hope that's not the case. At least the walk home was nice. It wasn't too warm out, and the breeze was relaxing. Yet, despite how relaxing a walk home in the shade with the leaves bristling above you from the wind was, he still couldn't shake the fiery redhead from his mind. He approached the apartment complex, the thought the thought of his suddenly revived friend bringing a smile to his face. Odasaku was alive and lived with him. Dazai didn't know about what their situation was in this universe, but he trusted him either way. It made Dazai sad to remember how this was only temporary, when he wasn't ever going to get Odasaki back again when this was over. Finding the key in his backpack, he unlocked the door to find an empty apartment. I guess he's working. Taking off his shoes and making his way to his room, he flopped down on the still unmade twin-sized bed. He didn't realize how tired he was until he laid down. Figuring out what to do now, he took out his phone. His eyes landed on the gallery app before pressing his thumb to the screen. The app had so many photos. Dazai's eyes examined the picture of the screen and clicked on the most recent picture. A picture of him and Chuya. In fact, the majority of them are him with Chuya. The photo displayed the pair at a park Dazai remembered passing on the way home. They were sat on the bench as Dazai seemed to have reached the phone over to include the two in the shot. A wide grin was plastered on Dazai's face, and Chuya's head was down, looking at what was probably his phone. His striking blue eyes still peered through his hair, caught off guard by the sudden camera. I am so sorry for all the stuttering today. Let's keep going. Dazai swiped his thumb. There was another of them at the park, one obviously more planned than the previous photo. He seemed to be sitting on the side of a hill, surrounded by small, white, wild flowers. Dazai didn't know how long he spent scrolling through his gallery, watching back the entire break. Pictures were taken from what seemed to be a library, a roller skating rink, a restaurant, and a few of his bedroom. Some were of the pair, planned or not, and a few were photos of just Chuya. Wow, they really did go everywhere together. A smile found its way onto his face as he reminisced over the memories he never experienced, yearning for this connection. Yeah, he definitely had a connection with the redhead in his original timeline, but this was on a whole new level. It made him a bit solemn as he remembered the foot they left on at the end of the school day, still wondering the cause of Chuya's sudden mood change. He decided it would make him feel better to get off his ass and stop making himself feel bad. He normally wouldn't have any motivation to take care of himself. Any desires to stop laying around was usually very easy to wave off. He guessed it was because he had lost his ability. The desire was just a spark. He guessed it was because before he lost his ability, that desire was just a spark, barely present without any deeper gain to back it up. But now he felt like he actually needed to do stuff, and that was honestly quite fulfilling. Getting up, he changed out of his uniform and into a pair of more comfortable clothes, a long baggy t-shirt and a pair of sweats. It was too warm to wear any more layers, especially with his bandages. Plus, it seemed like this Dazai didn't have any sweatshirts or hoodies to begin with. The only one in view being the one he woke up with wearing this morning. Dazai heard the door open and close as he exited his room, his face lighting up at the sight of his older friend. Odasaku announced his arrival and took a seat on the small couch, visibly tired. Dazai approached Odasaku gingerly, who greeted him with a smile. How was school? Fine, Dazai shrugged, sitting next to Odasaku. Are you feeling okay? Odasaku suddenly asked, somehow able to tell what was on Dazai's mind. I, sorta? Darzai didn't know how to address his dilemma without revealing anything about their situation. He was supposed to just. He supposed he'll just have to be careful with his words. I think Chuya's mad at me, and I don't think I did anything wrong. Oh no, is he ignoring you or something? Odasaku attended to the problem with care. God, he missed this. Sort of. He said I didn't do anything, but he's been unable to look at me all day. I thought we made up for whatever happened, but he went right back to giving me the cold shoulder. Oh, that sounds complicated, Odasaki commented. And he said you didn't do anything. Yeah, I even asked if I did anything wrong, or if I did something, but he said I didn't. Yet he still won't look at me. Darzai was starting to sound a lot more pressed about the matter, not realizing how much this was working him up. Are you sure he isn't just embarrassed about something? Or maybe it's something related to you that makes him unable to look at you in the eye with a serious face? Odasaki suggested, like a joke he heard or something about himself instead. I never thought about that. Darzai thought over Odasaki's suggestion. I'll think about it. Thank you for your help. No problem. Ango should be here soon, Odasaki mentioned, checking his phone before getting up. I'll start working on dinner. Ah, okay. Darzai watched as Odasaki walked over to the kitchen and turned on the stove. He didn't know what to make of the fact that Ango was mentioned and was coming over. He didn't let it distract him too much. He clearly had a lot more to think about. It was quite comforting, watching the wind blow through the trees and the window as Odasaki cooked in the other room. The smell of spicy curry filled the room, the plethora of spices tickling Darzai's nose. Of course, as much as Darzai wasn't a fan of spice, curry had always had a place in his heart for sentimental reasons. As Darzai glanced out of the window, his eyes caught sight of a small black car parked in front of the complex. Soon after, a familiar face emerged from the car holding a small box. It was Ango, dressed in a matching brown suit to the one Darzai had seen him wear many times before. He assumed Ango still worked for the government, or at least a similar job. Darzai had to remind himself that this Ango was not the same who betrayed him, and betrayed them as he watched the man approach the door. Ango's here, Darzai announced as Odasaki entered the room. Odasaki opened the door before Ango could even knock. The Noret's eyes widened before settling on a calm smile. I brought dessert. Ango held up a small box. You didn't have to. Odasaki took the box out of his hands before pecking him on the cheek. Yes, I did, Ango defended as he closed the door behind him, barely reacting to the kiss with a small smirk. He glanced over to the brunette slouched on the couch and waved. Good afternoon, Darzai. Hi. He kinda did sound like a moody teen. Darzai watched as Ango followed Odasaki into the kitchen. Nothing surprises me anymore. He always felt like there was going to be something going on between his friends, but he stopped thinking that after Odasaki's death. It was comforting to know that that there is a possibility that It was comforting to know that there is possibly a world out there where they're still happy. There we go. Chuya sat in the living room with Koyo, a small TV playing some rerun of a show he never bothered to watch illuminated the corner. He sunk further into the leather chair. There we go, finding comfort in the atmosphere. Koyo quietly sipped on some herbal tea. Kyoko's soft voice could be heard through the walls as she called one of her friends. It felt homey. Chuya felt at home. A sudden knock broke the air as Koyo got up to answer it. She quickly reached the door, revealing the visitor. Yoshino smiled as she said something quietly to Koyo, handing her a small bouquet of cosmos. Koyo took the bouquet, letting Yoshino in. Chuya, could you please go and find a vase to put these in? Koyo requested, gently handing him the bouquet of pink and orange flowers. Chuya took the bouquet to the kitchen, filling up a white vase with water and setting it on the table. It's not like he hasn't done stuff like this before. Koyo also always had a skill for flowers and wanted to pass it on to Chuya. It was always simple things like their meanings. It was always simple things like their meanings and how to arrange them. Okay, maybe not so simple. But Chuya had slowly developed a love for it. Anything to keep him from thinking of the number of murders he's committed. He trimmed the stems to fit in the glass, moving the flowers around to his liking. He heard Koyo leaving for her room, greeting Yoshino as she took Chuya's spot on the couch. Her eyes glued to the small gaming console she was playing as she showed no signs of moving. Chuya sighed, observing the people occupying the living room. Still a content smile made its way onto Chuya's face. As much as he wants to go back to his original timeline, he wouldn't mind staying here for a while. Dazai retreated back to his room as Odasaki bid his boyfriend farewell. The past few hours were nice, allowing Dazai to revisit some old memories and fully feel a content atmosphere that he wasn't entirely able to appreciate. That he wasn't able to entirely appreciate with his ability. However, it also kept him from thinking of Odasaki's suggestion. Dazai thought about Odasaki's words and Chuya's actions. Chuya had been very iffy around him, even going red out of anger. Yet, apparently not because of something he did. Chuya was able to listen to Dazai explain something on his mind and even smiled at him, but then went right back to ignoring him. Did he notice Dazai staring at him? Oh no, what if he made him uncomfortable? Wait, no. Chuya said it wasn't something Dazai did, but then what was it? Dazai groaned into his pillow in frustration. He hated how Chuya couldn't look at him. He seemed so angry. He was so angry he was going red. Is this the pain of love? Love. That word echoed in Dazai's mind before everything fit into place. Oh my god. It wasn't red angry. It wasn't angry red. That was blushing, which means, oh no. Are you sure he's not just embarrassed about something, or something about himself instead? Oh shit. Does Chuya know I like him? Okay, everyone, that was chapter 11 of The Life We Could Have Lived, This Life Was Made For Us by Zena Lemon. 2 more chapters to go, because this is a 13 chapter fic. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you all later. Bye!